I just can't believe that they did this to her. If you're going to make her the Bachelorette, why not recast the men?
I think they didn't have time, but that's like an explanation, not an excuse. That's just how I think we got here. I think they waited too long to figure out who the Bachelorette was going to be, but agreed. I was thinking about this. Like, who would Maria have ended up with? Maybe Jeremy, because they were spotted together, but like, I don't.
I actually I could see her and Devin go too, because Devin is obviously charming. That doesn't mean he's not a piece of shit, but
Yes.
he's charming. So he would have been able to turn it on for Maria too. And which is kind of scary, but like, I think these men would have been a lot more excited for Daisy or Maria, because that's who the fuck they thought they were signing up for.
I'm glad you mentioned that. We'll come back to this in 1 second, but my biggest takeaway from watching the show was actually like appalled by the Marcus situation, and like found it deeply upsetting that he made it this far when he said, I underestimated the role of emotions in a relationship. And it's just like, what? Are you human? How is that possible? Like, how can you underestimate that? And so like watching that play out for the like first 90 minutes, I was just like, are you like, how did we get here?
Okay.
This is so
as bad.
horrible.
I do think ABC set Jen up for failure. She never had a chance, and it's really, really fucking sad to watch. And our producer said this before we came on, but like, I agree. Like, they should have said something. Like, for the ending to just be like, we're so proud of you, Jen. Bye. I'm like, what? You guys couldn't throw her like $50K in a house or like something? Like,
that's a good point. So a lot of the sentiment immediately online, I was looking on Reddit and on Twitter, people were really outraged that they had Jen confront Devin. We see her sobbing. It's like that takes like 45 minutes or 40 minutes. And then they show the proposal and they make Jen watch it while sitting next to Devin with a reaction cam on her. So it's like maximum torture for her. And so a lot of the outrage has been about that, which I totally agree with. But there's the human piece of it where it's like fucked up to do that to Jen. But it's also just bad TV. Like, I was like, this is a really bad 3 hours.
I mean, I was
of
cringing
television
through a lot of it. Also, for
I had to fast forward through some of it. I was just like,
I don't know, 45 hour, probably an hour. First hour was us seeing over and over and over and over again this guy saying he does not love her, to her mom, to her brother, to her aunt, to Jen.
And this is the 3rd week. We've been talking about how he's been saying that.
So that's
literally
part
for 3
of the
weeks
problem
now.
is like, at least he's been saying it. Why he continued on, I don't know. But I'm glad that this isn't like, Devin's shocking. Devin is a 180. Devin is an actor. Devin completely fucked her this entire time. Devin did this for the wrong reasons, whatever. Marcus at least was upfront about it. I don't know why he kept going, and I don't know why Jen kept him. So it was like Marcus, why don't you take yourself out of it? And Jen, he's telling you. So why aren't you hearing him?
When someone shows you who they are, believe them. That's like, and he's
By
not
the
just
way,
showing you, he's telling you.
That
Every
actual
sign
saying
from
is,
Marcus.
when someone tells you who you are, believe them the first time.
Thank you for correcting me.
We're on the 15th time. Why are we still not believing?
I would love to know the producer behind the scenes opinion on this stuff, because I'm like, did they really advocate for Marcus going far? Like, did they really advocate? Was there 2 sides of this where like Marcus's producers were like, you should stay in it because like maybe you can get there, and then like on Jen's side they also were like, maybe he can get there, like if you love him, keep him around. Like, I agree with you. I don't know how we got here, but I do think Jesse's sit down with Marcus was kind of telling, where Jesse pulled the Cuba Gooding Jr. from Jerry Maguire. If you love her, you have got to tell her. And he then like kind of did it. But like Jesse sort of like pressuring him into like, you need to say how you feel, was the sort of, I thought like kind of like laying out like what the show was trying to get at. This wasn't the first sit
down with Jesse. So Jesse also knew that there was a problem here. And I feel like Jesse was kind of like, how are we still here? How am I still talking to you? You told me 2 weeks ago you didn't love her.
I think Jesse was doing his job as a company man who was like, I'm going to get Marcus to tell Jenn he loves her.
I just feel like Jesse's second sit down was kind of like, we're still here? Yeah.
Dude, what are you doing?
He was saying like, hey, if you do, you got to tell her, but like, or go home. Why are you still here? Like, I feel like Jesse was obviously doing his job. He definitely did what the producers wanted him to do. But you could tell he was kind of like, what the fuck is happening?
Devin is, to me, the only conclusion I can draw about Devin is that he is a liar who is very comfortable lying, because that's the only explanation for what we've seen. He didn't even apologize. He didn't try to walk anything back.
No, she even said that he said in a 15-minute phone call on the breakup, he was like, I can't say sorry anymore. Huh? You just fucked up my entire season where I had opportunities with other guys. Well, yeah, and life.
She's like, I'm planning to marry you.
You had me proposed to you on fucking national television. You stayed with me for 2 months, and now I'm finding out that you were not sure for the whole 2 months, yet you never told me about that. You literally had me eliminate other guys because you didn't like them, all while you never liked me. Like, I don't believe you. I don't believe you, Devin. I don't believe you were ever in love with Jenn. I don't believe any of it. On the flip side, and I know we've said it before, but I feel like I have to mention it every time. I know there's allegations against Marcus. Don't know if they're true or false. I have to say that because I really don't. And none of them have really amounted to anything. So I'm like, are they even true? Which sucks that if they're not, that this is even a thing. But they might be. So I have to mention it. But on the flip side, I believe Marcus. I believe what he is saying. And I also think, especially last night, I don't think those were fake emotions. I think Marcus was actually struggling. And I think that he liked Jenn. The only time he said that he loved Jenn, the way he said it was like, I absolutely have love for you. That's kind of like what I took from his I love you. It wasn't that like, I'm in love with you. Like, Devin is professing love to her. Marcus is like, you're a really great person. You're beautiful. Like, of course, like I have love for you. I just don't feel, I'm not certain that you're the one, which like, fine. I guess like, a lot of people say they don't know like when that happens or doesn't happen. But I think Marcus was really struggling. I think he was like, I really don't want to do this more than once. And I'm not 100% sure that you're the person for me. So I can't do it. Like, my family was fucked up. I don't want that.
He certainly wasn't willing to lie the way that Devin completely committed to lying. Like, Marcus was not really pretending to be anything else. He was not pretending to be in love with her. He was not love bombing her. I just think he should have left. I just don't understand why he stayed.
She
was clearly really into him from the beginning, right? Like, she said, like, early on, like, he made her feel comfortable. She liked their dates. He got 2 one-on-ones. But his presence, knowing he wasn't into her, took away from her ability, not her ability, but like the opportunity to explore other guys and like explore other relationships. And I feel like I've been there where like someone is very clearly not into you, but like you're so focused on them that it blinds you to other options. And then only once they're like out of the picture do you realize like how you've like wasted your time.
I think that's a lot of people.
I think he like
that happens to a lot of people.
Yeah.
If your energy's focused somewhere,
so he wasted
then it's not focused on Jonathan. And like,
it's not focused on who even knows. It's not focused on Grant. Else. It's not focused on, So like he really should have left like much earlier because it's just inexplicable. So like that's fucked up too. Did he allow him? Excuse me? What am I trying to say? Did Marcus allow Jenn to propose to him and then get engaged only to fuck her up and lie to her? No. But did he also screw her over? Yes.
This is the thing with Marcus.
Different magnitude.
Jenn met him halfway on fucking herself over. Like he did, and then she was like, "Let me meet you there and fuck myself over too." So it's both of their.
She's like, "I see what you're doing."
Yeah. So I think
move forward with it.
Absolutely fucked up. Marcus should have left, and Jenn should have also sent him home. So I agree with you that it's fucked up that he stayed. I just think his feelings were genuine. I think he was really, really struggling. And I think he was like thinking to himself, like, there is nothing wrong with her. I like her. I get along with her. She's a good person. I think she's a good person. I think she's beautiful. Maybe we even have sexual chemistry. They didn't really talk about that, but it seems like everything was there for him except for something that made him feel like she was the one. And he was like, how am I walking away from this? I also don't want to hurt her feelings. And I also only want to do this once.
Yeah. Yeah. The only want to do it once thing makes a lot of sense. And I guess like because he doesn't have a traditional family structure and he seems like, you know, maybe he struggles with intimacy. Of course, all of this again caveated by like, we don't know like who Marcus really is. Like, you know, we only have like a very small perspective of him, but like maybe he just like doesn't really understand relationships. Like that is possible. I mean, to say without self-consciousness, I underestimated the amount of emotion that goes into a relationship is such an appalling statement that it's just like, are you okay? Like, and the answer has to be no, because if that's what you're saying, then it's like, oh, you actually have not experienced like any emotional intimacy of any kind, not just like romantic, but even like, you know, familial. Or
yeah, but
platonic.
I mean, also the answer to your question is no, he's not okay. He was fucking shaking, crying, basically the whole episode. He's clearly not like in a good spot to move forward. I don't know how much
he's got work
he
to do,
could have
sure.
said differently to make you feel that way. Like, he told you every fucking way that he is not ready. The only thing he didn't do was show you by leaving. That's it.
Yeah. I think, and here's the thing about like getting back to like, let's talk about ABC where you wanted to start. I do think production has a responsibility to be like, okay, this is not someone who is ready or someone who is in love. And they should have used their powers of manipulation, which they definitely exert. There's no question about that.
Yeah.
To get him to leave. That is what's better for the TV show. And moreover, that's protecting the lead. Like the show should have exerted the influence to get him to go. I actually can't believe how much time we spend on Marcus when the real asshole here is Devin. I mean, Devin is just cut and dry though, right? Like Devin, actually, Rachel Recchia, previous co-Bachelorette, weeks ago on the Almost Famous podcast with Ashley Iaconetti and Ben Higgins, said that Devin was giving her red flags because he reminded her of Tino, who she ended up picking, who then cheated on her after they got engaged. And they broke up before the finale. And she was dead on. He is very similar to Tino. This is a real Tino situation where he is like just not committed to this process. And I think Devin is worse than Tino because Devin had no like remorse seemingly. He seemed to feel bad that he was getting like crucified on TV, but that's kind of it. Like, I don't think he seems to feel bad about how Jenn feels at all.
I think that Devin, well, first of all, when her brother was the first person that was just like in the beginning, they had the Bachelor contestants and they were like, we want to be here for Jenn, but also for Devin and Marcus, because I love them, whatever. And so that was the first time you were kind of like, what the fuck happens? Then.
Okay. I thought that was super weird. They're like, we want to be here for Devin and Marcus. Like, what do they need you for? Like, now that we've seen the show, I'm like, well, Jeremy, what are you talking about? Do they need your support?
I'm glad that Jeremy said that, though, because clearly you have been there for Devin. Which, by the way,
I love that Jeremy is now the center of like
was really funny to me. That she was like, I see you 2 days later at the club with Jeremy, and then the camera like pans to Jeremy, and he's just like, how did I get in this? I came here to be Jeremy supportive.
He still looks like he's ready for a night at the Roxbury. And one thing I hate about Jeremy, he always, like, when he gets attention, like the camera pans to him, he does like the tapping of his heart with like thank you so much. Like, it's like I don't know. It's like an athlete might do it after they've won a gold medal. And it's like, Jeremy, all you are is the 4th place person on arguably the worst season of The Bachelorette. Like, I don't know. It's
down. I thought that was like the only moment where I was like, that's great television from this entire 3-hour finale.
And also, Jonathan was explicit. Jonathan and Takeem, and like, we're here for Jenn. And Jeremy is like, yeah, and I'm here for Devin and Marcus. Gotta support my brothers.
Also, Marcus, I thought when
Okay.
he came back to Marcus, you know, for the 30th minute we've spent on him, um, when he came out on the stage, for all of his shortcomings, he was so much more normal than Devin. Like, he understands what happened. And Devin just, I don't, like, he,
Devin's a monster. That's what it is. I think he's a sociopath. Like he's very comfortable lying. He was
he
lying
had
this
no
entire show.
feeling
Like
at all up there. And I was just like, you don't even want to like seem remorseful. He was also him being like, I have no reason to be here. Yes, you do. You're here to try to make yourself look better. You're here to try to like get people to feel sorry for you. We don't.